waited for her call. I waited with a sinking feeling in my heart, not knowing if she'd forgive me was tearing me apart. I couldn't go on this way, I had to call again. The phone rang once, the phone rang twice, and then I heard her say, hello, this is Joanie. I'm sorry that I'm not home, but if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in I'll phone. My phone rang and my heart sang, my baby's called at last. Instead it was a friend who said that Joanie's car had crashed. I never should have let her drive home angry from my place. I'd never hold her again and kiss that funny face, but still there was a way to hear her voice again. The phone rang once, the phone rang twice, then I heard her say, hello, this is Joanie. I'm sorry that I'm not home. I'm so sorry, Joanie. Leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in I'll phone. Hello, this is Joanie. I'm sorry that I'm not home, but if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in I'll phone.
Yeah, Joanie. Don't know who sang that bit, the Joanie bit.
This gets
Well done,
serious
well
by
done.
the end of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
This is a common thing. I've even been through it recently with a few long lost friends. Where things happen and the distance was already great between the two of you. You meet after a long time and try to catch up and all that, bridge the gap, so to speak. But it actually ends up being possibly your last meeting with that person. Life passes by pretty quickly. Life is pretty short, and you actually realize it more so when such things happen. And pretty soon you really drift apart, and there's no chance of ever getting back to that person. And it's typical, especially on dates. Something goes south, south, or if something goes wrong. It's very, very, very difficult to get back on track with that person. So more or less, in those days, the answering machine was pretty much the easiest way to tell the other person that I'm not here, I'm not available, so to speak. I don't want to meet you again, so to speak. Yada yada yada. So it was pretty common back then. These days, of course, there are many other ways to say that you're not interested in meeting that person. One of the foremost ways is just blocking that person. So whatever was the primary way for you to get in touch with that person, you just block that person off, so that person can't even contact you and doesn't have a clue what's up with you because they are blocked from your account, your number, or whatever. So yeah, this is very, very common. In today's world, I think blocking someone just because something happened between you two, or you just don't want to see that person anymore, talk to that person anymore, communicate with that person anymore, just block that person. So this is one such story where this person and this person, they went out. They had he invited over. They had a bit too much of red wine to drink, and a result was a fight. Alcohol is possibly one of the biggest killers on the planet. Has been throughout the history of the world. Wars have been fought because of a person making decisions while drunk or intoxicated. People have been killed. Lots of people, even in today's world, every single year, if you statistics are to be believed, there are literally thousands, hundreds and thousands who are killed after a drunken night, whether drunken driving related accidents, which are in the thousands, hundreds and thousands every year all over the world, or fights which happen after. There was a beautiful movie, Edge of Heaven, where one of the characters just knocks a beer bottle on the lady's head that he's dating that night, dinner date, and she's killed. So yeah, there's so many, and that's not too far from the truth. This actually happens on a daily basis somewhere or the other in the world. Friends doing it to each other, family members doing it to each other, and all because they are so intoxicated, so drunk, either one of them or both of them. Otherwise, you get more angry when you're drunk too. So you're more prone to violence when you're drunk. And as a result, again, a lot of problems, a lot of accidents, a lot of fights. So this is one such song which talks about that. Here, this person doesn't want to have anything to do with him anyway after that.
Initially, I love the way she said, "Hello, I am Joanie." I've never heard that sweet, literally sweetness oozing out of someone's answering machine. And this used to be a real thing, something big thing when these answering machines came into existence, because it was the whole anticipation and anxiety and everything, that you are calling somebody, will you go through, will you not, what will you say if answering machine. I think it was easier to have spoken to the person directly than leaving a message on the answering machine. And like Savi remembers so many episodes of Seinfeld, even this had a pretty elaborate episode on it, that how every message can be, by you may think it was wrong or it wasn't done right and I want to change it. And once the answering machine locked the messages, there was hardly any way to get them out. So
Yeah, I think,
lot of people,
was it in
overthought.
Seinfeld or some other show where actually someone goes to rob the answering machine?
That is George. Typical of George.
So one of the episodes, the person actually goes all the way.
He wanted to
In
steal
fact,
the
even a
cassette.
movie is there, where road trip, where the person goes all the way to another state
a road trip,
to
yes.
get the message
of the
recorded on the
answering
tape before it actually reaches the person, because the tape message gets mixed up with another videotape that was recorded the same day. So yeah, road trip, the whole movie is about this thing.
Answering machine.
Yeah, the kind of thing. Yeah, so this also is very
And
funny.
when you talk about alcohol and answering machine also used to have a combination together. A lot of people, when they were drunk, they would call people. They had left a message that they would not desire to have done it if they were sane at that time, and then the whole thing spiraling out.
In fact, very recently, a month or two ago, I met a old friend of mine, childhood friend, and it's very, very difficult when you're drunk. He was really drunk. It's very, very difficult to think straight. So anything that you say can be misinterpreted. The person can misunderstand it and can get angry about it, can cry about it. The same goes with me. If I was had to drink too much, same goes with me. I misinterpret things. I misunderstood things. And as a result, in the case of this particular friend, we've not met since. And I probably don't think I'll ever meet that person again as long as I'm alive. So that's how it can go. That's how it can go. Not because of something I did, but because of the way he misbehaved. So yeah, these things do happen. And thank God for the answering machine. Thank God for blocking a person. And these things are really, really important in today's world, in a way, for many, many sticky situations to be avoided in the future.